ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back to ESL Pro League in North America. We just got done with our first match, and if you weren't able to catch it, if you were not home quite yet from work, school, whatever it might have been, you can get all those results, individual statistics on the Score Esports application. You can get that through the Google Play Store, the Apple iOS, so make sure you're using that to check out all the scheduling we'll have throughout Pro League. But just in case you are just tuning in, Cloud9 did take that first map. Yeah, tuning in, whatever it might be. Cloud9 did take that first map, 16-12 on DE Train. Now we're going to switch over to the second map in this doubleheader, and that's going to be on Cbble. NRG's going to have to find some way to come back into this one and try and even things out. We did mention NRG is directly behind Cloud9 in the standings, and that only just got extended, so they have to keep this close in the home stretch of the regular season.
The players to watch in this one, for me at least, is going to be the offers now coming off of that last one. We've already seen on that previous map that Peter was absolutely dominant, specifically in the first half. He dropped off a little bit once we switched things over onto the CT side for those guys, but still absolutely carrying the team within the first couple of rounds. Cbble as well, still showing his normal self in this one, so it's going to be an interesting one to see how these two joust, specifically here on Cbble as well.
Yeah, because there are definitely a lot of long-range battles with the AWP, ways for the AWP to get creative, pushing out A tunnels, maybe being aggressive on B platforms. Yeah, they definitely can come into play here. But for me, it's just you look at Cloud9, I mean, everyone around Cbble with that AWP. Freakazoid had some good rounds. Stewie played very well. All the rifles around that AWP for the Cloud9 side came to play and really bailed them out. When Peter, you can only dominate for so long with that AWP if none of your other teammates are helping out. Justin had some good stints. But outside of that, it did look like NRG was just a little bit outmatched in that train. And now on Cbble, it's going to be a similar situation. It'll be very tough for them. Cloud9 likes to remain aggressive towards drop. This is a map that they have liked very much in the past. And they have that ability to just kind of steamroll over opponents here in the region.
The good news is, though, is that Cloud9 has already shown in many matchups, especially recently, that they've struggled quite a bit on this map against some of their North American comrades. And NRG, again, bringing in Gabi into the equation does mean that they can just completely outstrat whatever defense C9 is going to try to prop up here, depending, of course, on where they start, as we are going to be going into the knife round now to see which team is going to start off where. The biggest thing for NRG, though, is going to be on that CT side, because there was one match, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where they played against Liquid, and they went like 11-4, 12-3, somewhere around there on their T side. Just dominated, started things off. But the CT side, they just completely dropped the ball because the communication was off. Something seemed to be off with their rotations, as things were just not being called out properly. I think they've adjusted a little bit since then, but there is still that problem where it could come back, especially after dropping that first map a little bit closer.
Yeah, we should mention as well, they did win the knife round on train and picked the start on the T side, so very curious to see where they start on this one. But either way, they are going to have to get out to that hot start, and once again, picking the T side. So, I mean, this map makes a little bit more sense that you can see the T sides really have good halves if they can snowball things to start things out. Terror sides, we have seen this map have a little bit of a lean. It's evened up recently to be a little bit more close and even a little bit CT-sided during times. But still, NRG, tall task ahead of them, because like you said, even with Gabi, even if they're able to tactically outplay Cloud9, it comes to the fact that just, top to bottom, this Cloud9 team has more skill than NRG does.
So we'll see how that begins now, with C9 jumping onto that CT side. Pretty usual setup now. Going to be keeping Cbble at close range here at the A doors, with 3 more fully rotating into the B bomb site, and a counter boost actually coming out with nothing, pushing his way into the back of the B bomb site. However, this is not where the play is going to be happening at all. NRG have grouped up, and it's 5 men trying to push their way out to the A-bomb site. Thankfully, those close rotations are going to allow Cbble to just go off here. Shuts out Gabi, Peter, and Legia. And Shroud picks up the final kill on the Justin. A good attempt at a quick play from NRG, but it's just completely stunned by Cbble with an Alamo holding play.
Yeah, and Shroud as well. They just got slaughtered. Cbble, I mean, look at this from Cbble, just taking his time, finding those headshots. Awkward angle for NRG to be dealing with, and even Shroud chiming in with a couple. So quick pistol round from Cloud9 after initially losing Freakazoid in the long A halls. But they recover very nicely. Now we're going to see 3 SMGs, the shotgun onto Shroud as well. Freakazoid once again going to get aggressive over towards those A halls to find some information. But a lot of play from NRG towards this B bomb site. Cbble initially jumps up to grab the info, falls away. Delays just a little bit. A lot of utility used on both sides, actually. And look at this, aggressive towards drop. Flashbang comes out, nothing, holding off nicely. He does get traded out, but there's Shroud at the shotgun. Can't convert the second kill, but the rest of Gabi's teammates have been annihilated, and it's just left him for jump out the window to his death. 2-0 for Cloud9.
So same thing as that last map. The same problems for NRG here is they're allowing these hero plays to happen on the pistol rounds, and they're not making a whole lot of progress in the second rounds. So we're going to see the same problems to start off here. C9 gets themselves off to a hot start, and for NRG now coming onto the third round, needing to save up here because I don't believe, nope, not getting a plan on either of these first 2 rounds. They don't really have a whole lot of cash, so it's going to be a full, complete save with just one exception now with the upgrade on the P250 coming out from Silent. And this could actually mean that they save again in the next round because they've done this a couple other times before too. Considering they haven't gotten a plan, it's very unlikely they're going to find one here.
Oh, and Freakazoid just getting hyper-aggressive again. Redeeming himself from that pistol round. Stewie as well has pushed up and catches Legia off guard, so this round has already slipped away from NRG. 3-on-5 situation. Freakazoid continuing to chase after that bonus money. He's going to find it again. Stewie, I think he spotted Silent up there. I think he just recovered at the last moment, but Shroud definitely sees him. Sounds going to take that battle. Oh, a nice shot. But Stewie from behind finally ends him. It's just a shotgun loss, no big deal for Cloud9. Plenty of money built up off all those SMG kills. Now we're seeing the upgrade. Skadoodle switches over to that AWP. Shroud's going to get the M4. Actually, they're going to switch right into a double op. This time it's not going to be Shroud taking control of it like we saw in Train. It is going to be Stewie with that second op.
And NRG actually only doing a partial investment here. Two players are going to go for rifle buys. It's going to be on both Justin and Silent. Peter's really not going to bring anything. He's just going to buy a P250. Gabi is investing into a CZ, and Legia bringing the Salt off to the party.
I'm so confused by this buy in a 4th round. I don't think we've... okay.
It's weird because it doesn't necessarily equalize the money. You still have Silent and Justin down at like basically nothing. So, however, it's going to start off well as Silent picks with that first kill, but leaves himself too overexposed, and Stewie's going to be able to trade that now. Shroud sees a peek coming from Legia. A bit of a rough start there, but still able to find the kill, and now open firing. Stewie up close, finishing up Gabi here. Peter finally striking back to take down Stewie, but Skadoodle is right back at it there. Shuts out Peter and leaves only Justin alive, and he's about to be flanked by Freakazoid there, and Freakazoid actually screws that up a little bit. I don't think he was expecting to find him right there, but now Justin, there's nowhere to go for him. He's just stuck on this platform.
He's doing pretty decent damage, and he's finding ways to isolate these into one-on-ones. I mean, there's a nice flashbang from Freakazoid, though, to finally end it. And they've got to recover that second op, and they do get it. And Freakazoid, he's going to be stuck in that SMG for one more round. What a weird buy out of NRG. I mean, a pistol on Peter, shotgun, they had 2 AKs. Yeah, I mean, this is just all over the place with this kind of a purchase. And now, I mean, at least this round, because they didn't have everyone buy up, I mean, they have the op on Peter, they have 3 AKs, and they have a Tech 9 on Justin. So a little bit curious, but it is 4 rounds for Cloud9 to start this out.
I guess it leads them into another... This is still a pretty good buy when you look at it. Just the one player being downgraded, and now they have the op with the armor sitting behind it from Peter. So some semi-intense mathematics going on that last round to basically make sure that they would be able to afford this buy this time. And it works out for the time being, but now that they actually have the rifles in hand, it's time to execute and start putting some rounds up on the board, because C9 have been given a 4-0 start to this matchup here. But nice little stat going on, trying to see if they can catch anybody around the areas here by the broken wall, but not going to be too good starting off. NRG is playing it very slowly and very passively.
Those shots from Gabi mask the footsteps of Legia, so it'll be, I mean, Cloud9's still very wary that someone can be outdropped because they don't have anyone dedicated inside the drop zone. They're playing it very passively, so they have to be just certain. They have to just assume that someone's in there. But it could be a little bit dangerous if they're relying on hearing those footsteps to make some kind of play. Still, NRG heavily postured towards this B bomb site. No map control over towards A. Only 3 defenders here as well. And Legia is going to start this off. Flashbangs to make this some kind of a split onto the B bomb site. He's going to come through the double doors, but Stewie's still doing some damage to that op, and there's a Molotov kill from nothing. Good trades as well as the execution comes in. NRG can make no progress on this bomb site. Legia's got to be a hero somehow. But he slows down because he knows the rotations are coming in. Doesn't want to get caught in no man's land. There's a nice kill from Justin, but it's just not enough. 1 on 3. Finds a kill onto Freakazoid. 25 seconds left on the clock.
Very, very slow pace here now for Justin as he's trying to wrap around, trying to find at least one more of these pickups. Nothing. Starting to get a little bit aggressive, but I don't think Justin realizes just how close he is. Hasn't spotted him through the smoke as of yet. He's got a feeling now that nade's going to get tossed back out, but also Justin finding one more frag, but thankfully nothing. Reacts quickly enough. Finds a trade for it. Nothing's going to be the last member left alive. He recovers the op, but some heavy losses from C9 on that round. Nonetheless, though, they keep themselves flawless up to this point and start off now 5-0.
Yeah, but Cloud9's going to be fine taking those losses as long as they keep the winning streak up. 5-0, the full losing bonus is in the favor of NRG, but with denying that plant at the end as well, I mean, there's just not enough money for NRG to really do too much. They can do a little bit of a half buy. As you can see, Gabi's invested in the pistol, the armor, so is Justin. There's some utility bought up as well, but they found no progress. And the big question is, Freakazoid is still staying aggressive in these long A hauls. He hasn't been punished for that since. So he's gaining a lot of information for his team. You can see that allows Skadoodle to play it a little bit more passively with the op towards the double doors, a quick rotate over towards the B bomb site for him.
So now with NRG Just right now stacking themselves outside of that B bomb site, nowhere even near exposing themselves to any of the teams. Even if they did decide to get a little bit aggressive, the only place they would be finding some action would be towards drop, which is actually where they're going to start things off now. Gob has placed himself inside, waiting for Shroud to re-peek it, but keep in mind, he's going to be tagged there early on, and now being brought down to 29 HP. Legia needs to come down to support his teammate a little bit, so he gets the drop onto them. And Freakazoid is going to find that first kill now, as he's still pushing his way out over towards Long A. Justin was investigating options there. He's not going to find anything, and it's just another shutdown, it would seem. Shroud, a little bit of trouble finding that kill as he pushes inside, and he gets the Zeus.
Yes, Shroud. That is stellar play. It's beautiful stuff. And I can hear Semler crying from here.
A full confidence coming out from Shroud there on that push. Knows he has control, and there we go. Down goes Gob.
I love it. I love everything about that. Freakazoid's going to be on the P90. Shroud keeping the shotgun. I mean, we've seen this, especially on this map, that shotgun is entirely viable to keep if you're going to defend that drop zone, you know, very aggressively. If you're going to stay inside the room, it is a little bit dangerous once you have to rotate. But so far, doesn't look like he's going to be having too many issues. He's done a very good job so far. The P90 on a Freakazoid is the more curious one, but it's Skadoodle with the op right now. Has the angle, and he's going to fall back at a certain time. Freakazoid inside danger stairways. He's going to be aggressive. Skadoodle's got his back. Nothing's going to find an opening kill towards drop, and there's Skadoodle chiming in. This defense is looking so strong. NRG does not have an answer quite yet.
Silent hanging out in that molly for so long earlier there, too, and when he finally tries to get himself outside of it, nothing just spots him and shuts him down. So not the best start from him. Peter is going to be taken down by Freakazoid still, and he's still moving in here, looking for more frags. He knows Justin somewhere in that smoke. Can't find him as yet. Skadoodle picked up another kill, and the final mark is going to be on the Justin. Freakazoid taking a little bit to hunt him down, but he does succeed in picking up that kill. C9 still shutting things down at this point, 7-0, with NRG still to find a single round on the board.
Yeah, what's scary is that was a buy round for NRG. They had all the AKs, they had an op. I mean, they couldn't get anything done. All the kills go Cloud9's way. They don't lose anyone. I mean, that's huge. And nice play from Freakazoid as well. Gets a free upgrade to an AK-47. So just rolling in the cash. Freakazoid is at $15,300 so far. So plenty of bank built up to help him and his teammates out. And NRG, I mean, this is really that last buy. You can see Peter's only on the pistol, trying to save up for an AWP. He's about 2150 right now. But if they can't win this round, if they don't have any success, there's got to be a pause coming out because NRG, I mean, they have 0 rounds on the board so far. Cloud9, this lead might just be too big already.
NRG going to attempt to make a push over towards the A-bomb site. Literally 0 players aggressing in that B site. But C9 already with an aggressive hold, putting Freakazoid up just by the doorway. And Skadoodle starting to fall back now as the time has ticked by. And he needs to check out that long A angle. And it's good on that one, as NRG's players are just now starting to investigate their options over towards the long A. Making sure they check everything, though. Legia keeping his eyes out. For the time being, even they're a little bit hesitant on making this push. So they're going to move their players back out through the mid-connector and start to push them through the halls to get over towards the B-bomb site instead.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of time, though. 55 seconds left on the clock. Stewie is aggressive on the B platform. He's even got that choke point far away smoked off. He's going to do it one more time, it looks like. Or just bide it, wait till he sees if he sees anyone. But he's got a great angle for this AWP. And NRG, they have a long... I mean, this is a gauntlet to run here to make sure they don't get picked off. Flashbang going to come out from Gabi. That's going to force Stewie back. He takes the shot. It's a double blind. Drops the Molotov as well. No progress to be made. And he gets aggressive once more. Just goes for the fun. There's Shroud chiming in. Even him blind. He finishes off that kill onto Peter. And Stewie, what... One shot just pretty much ends the round, and it's all down to Silent so quickly in a 1-on-4.
Amazing shot from Stewie, and now Silent, nothing he can do about this. Lost bomb control, it's sitting just near the broken wall. It's sort of in a place where he could try to contest it, but 10 seconds left. Why would you even do that? He's got the AK, he's still in a pretty safe position, and nobody's gotten super aggressive as of yet, but they are going to start to push him. He's waiting for that pop to come out from Freakazoid. Freakazoid spots it, but he knows Silent's there. That nade's going to roll in. Maybe he can take him down, but no, not the case. Skadoodle takes the brunt of that damage, and he will be able to make it out of this round with the AK. So keeping a little bit of money alive for him heading into this next round. But still, for most of his teammates, take a look at it. They're sitting around 3.4K. So these buy-ups are either going to be downgraded to Galil's or just going to be Tech9 buys.
Still no pause as well from NRG, despite being stumped out of 8 rounds. 2 upgraded pistols. Peter does finally have that AWP, but he's got no nades behind it. And you can see Skadoodle and Freakazoid initially, just like last round, playing a little bit of a bait and switch. Skadoodle with that off with the angle. He'll take a shot, and if he misses or gets a kill, it'll be Freakazoid who takes the next action, and Peter's going to challenge this. Is he going to be ready? Does he know the angle? Oh, he just slips to the side just at the last second. You're just waiting. All 5 members of NRG are here waiting to stream. I mean, they're going to try and push back any aggression towards the A-halls, which they won't find. And then it's all about busting up this presence from Skadoodle and Freakazoid.
Starting to slowly push their way inside of that mid-connector now, but everybody from C9 is going to be ready to try and hold this. Skadoodle just posted up, waiting for a door push. They need to flash this perfectly here. Skadoodle tossing out that smoke. Now the timer's getting a little bit lower, a minute left on the clock, and that smoke in itself is enough to hold NRG back. They don't really want to seem to pressure it. They're waiting for that long A pressure to amount to something for these guys, but even they're holding back a little bit too, so NRG seem extremely timid here, as they just haven't been able to find anything against C9 early on in these rounds.
Yeah, not willing to use too much utility as well to do this. And now there's a pop flash for Freakazoid. He's going to come in and clear things out. He's about to get crunched from 2 different angles. The timing does not work out for him. Slow played, but there's Skadoodle. That's going to slow things down. Finds an opening kill on a Silent. Readjusts into the bomb site. Spots one. Gets Peter, who takes the duel. Now in the back of the site. Relocates one more time. Looking for the head of Legia. And he does eventually find it. Gabi is close up, but his teammates have been lost. They've all fallen. What else can he do? And there's Shroud even on the rotate to hold strong, and Justin with the op trying. I mean, he's hoping that Skadoodle's just going to walk into his crosshair, but it's not going to happen. Skadoodle's on top of the roof, so no joy for Justin. And is there actually no real chance that he's going to be able to save out this round? Can't land the jumping shot. That gives away his spot because Skadoodle just says, I'll do it better than you, buddy.
Shuts him down. So great plays from Skadoodle, and finally the pause is coming in from NRG, but you were calling for this like 3 or 4 rounds ago, so this is way too late at this point.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because the trick now is, I mean, Freakazoid's at 16K, Stewie's at 11,000, so is Shroud. Nothing and Skadoodle are right around 9,000, 10,000. So, I mean, there's just so much money. At this point, you're saying, you know, we need to win more than 1 round. You're now in this pause, instead of trying to find a way to be victorious in 1 round, you have to find a way to be victorious in like 3 or 4. You essentially have to figure out the rest of this half because you have so much money on your opponents that you have to blow through before any kind of pressure subsides. So this is a sick half from Cloud9, and again, NRG gets a little bit stumped winning that knife round and picking the wrong side, it would seem. And
a really good play that the C9 actually ended up playing that too over towards the A-bomb site. They actually kind of assumed that Freakazoid would be going down because of the fact that Skadoodle just really falls back just behind the APC, waiting for his teammate to go down so that in the event that would happen and they just execute following that frag, that he's still in a safe position, he's still able to frag. And that's exactly what happens. Freakazoid pushes forward, doesn't manage to find anything, but what he does see is that there's this huge push coming over towards the A-bomb site. So considering that, Skadoodle's already back, sitting behind the APC, and he's able to pick up a frag, reposition, find another frag, reposition again, and just shuts down the entire push almost on his own.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. And even Gabi, I mean, he gets aggressive spot. He's there to help cut off rotations and chime in any way he can, but with his teammates having no success elsewhere, just not going to find anything just being pushed up. He had to start getting a little bit more proactive. So, I mean, yeah, that was just a clinic put on by Skadoodle. And you're right that, I mean, even if it's an aggressive stance where Freakazoid dies with no damage dealt, he has all that info. So then his team knows exactly what they're rotating into, exactly knowing how they want to rotate, and Skadoodle there with the op providing all the intel the whole way through. And that's been the story of this half. It's just been a dominant defense from Cloud9 that NRG cannot find a way to get past.
Another thing NRG might be doing here too, since they do have a predetermined amount of time for these pauses. We've seen a couple other teams do this at points throughout the season, is they may just be allowing this pause to go for as long as they're allowed to, because now that C9 just have this huge amount of momentum going, let's ice the kicker a little bit.
Ice him a little? Yeah, that's not going to be, that might not, I don't think that's too, I mean, listen, they haven't even gotten the bomb planted. Like, it's going to take a lot more than icing the kicker here, so to speak. They haven't even really sniffed the bomb site. They haven't even gotten close to it. So Cloud9 just shutting them out across multiple fronts. Really sick display. And we talked about this is a Cloud9 whose CT sides have, despite this slump, they've still been good. It's just, you know, when you get against that European competition, just one half of Counter-Strike is not good enough to win. So right now, I mean, their T side look good on Train as well, so improving in that regard. But this is dominant. And NRG, I mean, they're going to let these 2 maps slip away, it looks like. When they were right behind Cloud9 by 2 matches. I think they were like 6-4, while Cloud9 was like 8-6 or something like that. So, I mean, letting these slip away, now the gap is even wider.
And that, at least for today, of course, should actually put C9, assuming that this continues onwards and they just claim this next map here, that should put them past the Renegades down into the top 4 for the season at this point.
Yeah, which, good. I mean, one of our major teams in the top 4, not too shabby.
You know, it should be there
25% rate.
Good.
Yeah, good.
One of the biggest issues here, too, just looking at the scorelines for NRG, is that Legia has not picked up a single frag as of yet in 9 completed rounds. He's sitting at 0-9. And as well, Gabi not doing too much better at 1-1-9, and it's a very slow struggle up from there. The best fraggers at this point are both Silent and Justin, who are sitting at 4-8 and 4-9.
I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, don't even really need to bring up Gabi and Legia at 1-0 kills because no one is above 4. That's insane. Like this far in the half. This is why there's so much money on the Cloud9 side. There's no kills going out for NRG. No matter what they do strategically, it's still just a slaughter out of C9. I mean, no matter what you're thinking of strategically during a pause, if you're not finding the kills, you're going to have no success. And NRG and Cbble at least have come out flat, despite looking initially pretty decent on Train.
And talking in sort of hypotheticals for a second here too. Cbble was going to be trying to push over towards drop so that he could pinch the rotation. Even that was countered out by C9. There was a molly thrown over, so he wasn't even able to push drop for like probably 5 or 10 seconds after we saw this mowdown happening here inside of mid connector. So even if that attempt to push mid connector had gone well, you still would have had that coming in late, and C9 still would have been on point to rotate into that site. So NRG's strat, just whatever that pause was for there, at least just did not work out at all.
Well, the pause was for this round right here, this bye, and it's got to start a 5-0 run for NRG. They have to get these last 5 rounds into this half, or else it's going to be a very quick matchup. Up on Peter. Silent as well, going to be aggressive, just bouncing the flashbang. He's going to run with it, trying to gain positioning on platform. Nothing hears all of this. Stewie's out in the open, misses the initial shot. A little bit scary for him, but he does recover in time. Using the pistol now instead of the AWP. That Molotov's going to force Silent away. Look at this, a boost over the smoke as well.
Nothing actually messes up a flash that might give away his position just below the wall, but Cbble is going to be the one that finds the first pickup. He's able to take down Skedoodle, Shroud, and now Legia picking up 2 more. Puts it back into the control of NRG. They've got Peter boosted up on top, and that's actually going to end the kill on a Stewie. Great job, but now they got to find nothing, and they're both looking in either direction there. So Silent is able to grab that kill on nothing. Great approach to get themselves off of the platform, and now the only player left is Freakazoid, but he's got bomb control. He's going to be able to go up just outside of drop, picks up that first kill, but then reveals himself to Legia, who's going to be able to crush him and prevent his chance from clutching the round.
Did he know he had bomb control?
I don't think he saw it because it was just below that wall.
Yep. So that would explain why he gets so aggressive towards drop, but a nice boost. Clears out Stewie, that allows him to clear. And smart by Justin to make sure he checks that corner. That oftentimes can go a little bit unchecked, especially when you've gotten already a couple kills towards drop and statue. But NRG, that round, they open up with a lot of pressure early on. Silent getting out towards platform, you know, taking some shots, dealing some damage, catching Stewie off guard. Puts pressure on the defense, and they eventually can win out in the end. 2 members have their attention towards that B platform, and then NRG attacks drop and gets an opening kill. So now, still a lot of money. As we've mentioned multiple times, Cloud9 not out of it yet. Freakazoid with the angle, has the shot, but he can't win the duel against Cbble.
They are going to boost their players up over here on a platform so they can get a bit aggressive and try to hold back a B hit if that was going to be the play. Still appears to be the case for now, but they could very easily switch this up to an A hit now that they found that entry kill back over towards long A. The only player here holding this is going to be Skedoodle, and he's got that up. Justin should have just been able to spot him crossing that smoke, but still has to be a bit cautious. However, here on the B-bomb site, Stewie, with that aggressive position, pushing up to the broken wall, is going to find him a trade kill on a Silent.
Yeah, and Skedoodle's taking a lot of damage. He's got to fall back into the bomb site. He's down to only 19 HP. Cbble working his way up mid. Bomb rotating back as well. So it's going to be Skedoodle and Shroud at this A bomb site. They have to hold strong. And Cbble, he's peering up. He's at the top of this hill. Molotov reigns in. There's Shroud. Gets aggressive over towards long. Finds that. Cbble is in a great spot to cut off rotations, but it's not going to matter if they can't get the bomb site. And Cbble does eventually fall. Now the rotations are on. Shroud still close up, is going to find Peter with the op, but it all crumbles for NRG. 10-1, they get stopped after only 1 round win. They did survive that with so many members alive, or with 3 alive, that they can buy into this round pretty decently. Justin's got 6 grand, so they'll have a couple AK-47s to work with, but they can't string them together. Only 1 round win for them, and then Cloud9 clamps down the defense again.
NRG are going to force up here, at least what they can afford to do so, and it's going to be extremely split up now. You've got a Galil, an AK, 2 AKs, apologies, sitting on both Justin and Cbble. Silent can't even get a rifle. He's just going to have to downgrade to a Deagle. And there's basically 0 utility on this entire team right now. They've got 2 flashbangs to use for this entire round. Peter and Justin having either one of those. So NRG, they've been reset, and now they're essentially already broken here. But because they're so far behind in the round share, they just have to force up to try and find a second round now.
Yeah, they do, and the question is going to be, are they going to do some kind of execute, or are they going to let Peter have a little bit of an opportunity to pick out towards statue? All 5 members, or 4 members. Justin's watching the flank for the moment, but he's going to be grouping up with them at a certain point. No one with eyes into this drop room. Shroud's the closest one. It is a little bit of a passive hold, but there's no danger of this being a split towards the A site, so they still have to come through Shroud eventually. He hears the drop from Cbble, holding the angle. They're going to peek on him any second. Goes for the shoulder peek, tries to bait out a shot. Not going to work, and there it is, the double peek, and Shroud just gives it up. Falls away, smokes him off. The question now becomes, NRG, how do you bust through this? One is dropped, that's Silent. Stewie finds him. He's going to find a second one as well. That's Shroud, but Legia and Peter trade them off. Shroud's still alive, doing damage at the rock, holding strong. 3 kills for him so far.
And now Peter going to have to try and pull off the impossible. A 1v3 gets the angle versus Shroud, but that clock just not going to do any damage whatsoever. Brings Shroud down with just 5 of his HP. But still, he's sitting safely behind the rock. Peter looking for the clip so he can take him down, but sitting just around the corner is going to be either Skedoodle or Freakazoid. He's moving in, he's getting the plant, which is obviously the more important thing at this point, considering his team is flat broke. They need some money to pull something off. There's a good shot, but unfortunately, Freakazoid are just going to roll right out onto the platform and stop that before it can go any further. So C9 find a 12th round here, and still, there's just no semblance of any sort of anything coming out from NRG at this point.
Well, Shroud just wins the day on this one. Just his performance, 3 kills. I mean, just standing at that rock, just holding the bomb site down, it was beautiful. And I mean, now NRG's reset, even with the plant, all they can really invest into is pistols.
That was also, again, we talked about this on the pause too, but with the exception of the round they actually did end up picking up, that's the only round where they've managed to find a plant. So NRG's economy, even though it's on the T side, because of the fact they're not getting these plants, they're just not able to afford anything. It's back down to a very brutal point, and take a look at it, just P250s and flashbangs and a random CZ and Tech 9 that's coming in on either Gabi or Justin.
Yeah, this is all right, boys. We have no clue what to do. We've run out of tactics. Just rush B. Shroud and Stewie are loving it at the moment. 3 kills for Stewie in the round, excuse me. But, I mean, nowhere for NRG to go there. Last round now, with some of this losing bonus building up, they'll be able to have the AK-47s despite that little bit of an investment in the last one. But Cloud9 just being a dominant team in this first half.
Shroud's having himself a ball game at this point, 20-4, and even better than that to a certain degree is Skedoodle, next player down at 13-2, only dying 2 times in a total of 14 played out rounds. So NRG just not making any impact at all. They'll be forcing up on this final round a little bit better than the last time because they at least bring some utility to the table, but still, that does not mean anything considering just how dominant C9 has been in this half.
Lining up for some play over towards drop, a boost up from Gabi, trying to find an opening pick, just adjusting the angle that Cloud9 might not be expecting if they try and peer in. Shots once again to mask Legia falling, but it's only 3. I mean, as a Shroud more than likely knows that there's been a dropper, expects this, but doesn't expect Legia to be at that angle. Goes for Gabi, and does fall. Freakazoid's also taking a massive amount of damage, so good opportunity here for NRG to find their second round in this half.
Nothing is playing it safe for the time being. Smoking that off, but catches a nice shot on the Gabi, and being able to eliminate him finds the trade for the earlier loss of Shroud, but the real play is going to be coming through the ramp now. We can see Skedoodle going to have to try and hold this. Goes for that first peek and jumping past. Sticks around for a little bit. Almost cost him his life. He's out of 48 HP now, but he's going to molly off the long A to prevent him from being pushed from 2 different angles. However, Legia sneaking his way in from drop. This is going to be the big play that could save NRG in this round.
Yeah, Cloud9 has no indication this is coming, and Legia's going to get 1 free kill. Freakazoid's low, he gets a second. That opens up the safe bomb site. It's now a retake situation. Bomb hasn't crossed into the site, but nothing's got to be very wary about this positioning of Legia. Smoke comes out into the double doors. That's going to force nothing back. Here is Legia, takes a shot, but just falls out safely. And nothing now takes control of Balcony. Looks the wrong way, but adjusts in time. Finds that kill. 2-on-2 situation.
And they're going to try to sneak their way outside of the shed now. Got to be very cautious because they have to be keeping their eyes on this one. Stewie looking every which way he can, except for the alley where they do have players positioned right now. NRG being very, very cautious of a long A push by having Justin posted up over there and Silent. His angle is going to be a little bit smoked off, so his is even hard to find out right now. But they're moving, they're retaking this together. Unfortunately, Silent is going to find that first angle. And the peek from Justin. Stewie missing his shot. He's going to be overwhelmed. Probably that first pickup, but he didn't even realize that Silent had jumped over his point of view there. So he's going to be able to close it out. And at the very least, we have a second round onto the board for NRG, but still 13-2 lead. This would be absolutely massive if by some miracle NRG were able to come back.
Yeah, I mean, they got a long way to go before we even think that's going to be possible. I mean, this is a sick first half from Cloud9 any way you look at it. Stewie as well. That was a nice shot, and if Silent misses that jumping down up shot, then Stewie has a real chance of taking that win, stealing it away from NRG. But either way, 13-2, it's just... I mean, this is a map that we expect to have some success on the T side, and 2 rounds is just far, far too little.
So for NRG now, taking some time, trying to figure out exactly how they're going to play the CT side, and for C9, taking things easily now, because they have no reason to worry at all. And essentially, if they win this pistol round, they've got the game under their control, because the only thing that would stop them from already getting up to the 15-round scoreline at this point would be NRG forcing up on the second round and pulling off a miracle hold to be able to steal that away and upset the economy.
I mean, before we even get into the economic situations, I mean, let's just have a little bit of fun with this one, because NRG just got destroyed. Cloud9, that was a really, really good showing out of them. I mean, NRG, we talked about, yeah, it's great they have Gabi, and he's very good tactically. He's done wonders with this team, and I mean, still, we're going to see some of these kind of growing pains, but I mean, there was just no kills coming out from the NRG side there. It doesn't matter what you do tactically. I mean, at one point, as a team, their highest kill total was, what, 4? They had 2 players at 4, and then 3-2, or 3-1 and 0. Yep. I mean, just not enough fragging coming out of this team. Cloud9 just fully outskilling them in that half.
I think when we looked at it, they had a total of like 10 kills, so no damage at all.
And that was at like 9-0 or something like that, so...
And it probably went up by like 1 or 2 kills, but Skedoodle, I think, died at most 3 or 4 times that entire half. I know for a fact that we had Shroud sitting at 4 deaths when we took a look at it around like 13. So C9 just having no issues whatsoever, taking it from round to round. Probably had rifles that were alive on the bodies of C9 players for like 6 or 7 rounds in a row before being dropped or traded. So nothing to worry about on C9. They're just having a pretty casual game right now.
Yeah, looking to, I mean, there was a little bit of delay in the first one, so maybe just kind of looking up to, you know, get their schedule back on track. They had to switch some servers, so they're just like, all right, we were 30 minutes late when we added the first map. Let's get out of here. Jordan's got to go get a burrito for dinner.
Just close it out quickly. So NRG definitely not happy with the result tonight, especially considering that they've been able to perform much, much better against teams like Team Liquid and CLG on this map previously. So, and when you consider C9's recent record on this map too, there's no reason as to why all of a sudden they should just be racking up this many rounds on the CT side.
It's pretty impressive stuff. I mean, really good. I mean, like we said, NRG, they have that really good counter pit. They're not exactly the teams that we'd consider to be, you know, some kind of a world beat or anything like that, but still, I mean, a really good showing off a team that could have come into this full of confidence, just fully hot, just ready to go. You know, a lot of swagger, although, I mean, it is kind of that dangerous thing where it could go either way. I mean, maybe we're seeing it, maybe we're not, you know, I'm thinking of this as like they come back with a lot of confidence because they beat Envy, but maybe it's more the situation where they come back from that event and there's always like this little bit of a LAN hangover. We're used to playing in that LAN environment. Now you come back to online and everything just feels a little bit weird, but that does not explain a 2-13 half.
So for C9, probably going to be taking this first round pretty casually. And as for NRG, well, they absolutely have to pick this one up. There's no way they're making this comeback if they don't find this pistol round. And they're 0 for 3 on pistol rounds tonight. As C9 so far have just been taking complete control of these situations.
As we can see, Cloud9, 2 members with the bomb over towards the B bomb site. Cloud9, they're just going to rush right up middle. This is going to be a split towards the B bomb site. This could catch him off guard. Oh, the flashbang, it doesn't come out though. Shroud's going in without any cover of that nade. It comes in late. There's one blind member, and then Skedoodle just recovers so nicely. That could have been a massive mistake if that flashbang did not eventually come out. Skedoodle still doing work, finds one more pickoff, and then just plays a passive smart. Gets back into this B bomb site, stays alive for his teammate. One more flashbang comes out. Blinds himself though. But still with 3 kills, all the confidence in the world to take this fight, force Justin back into double doors.
Justin's got no kit. All of his teammates are dead. If they had invested into one, it's far, far too far gone at this point. So Justin's going to try to move in. He does manage to rip through Skedoodle, but so much time has been wasted, and now he has to be flawless in this execution of Stewie if he wants to close it out. Stewie, nice little peek there, brings some damage down, but Justin does actually find the pickup. And now plenty of time left to defuse that bomb. He's going to be able to clutch this one out for NRG and keep them in this match.
Well, all right then. So, I mean, that was, I didn't think it was any way that Justin was going to win that, but nice aggression over towards Stewie. Puts a lot of pressure on him. This is the flashbang. You can see Skedoodle goes to throw it, and it just gets, you know, he just switches away too quick. The kills initially come out perfectly for NRG, but then it's just Skedoodle recovering. That is nice, and smart play from him, but still takes that battle out towards Rock, where his teammate couldn't help him. So a little bit in that 2-on-1 mismanaged with how they position themselves. Buys NRG a little bit of time. 3 rounds for them against 13 for C9, and they have 3 UMPs to work with.
C9 as well, not actually going to force themselves to just immediately try and break NRG. They've got such a huge cushion at this point. There's no reason to try and risk it. So they're moving in. No one checking suicide steps, though, so this crossfire is actually going to be pretty potent. Justin just racking up the frag at this point. He gets 3. Finally, Silent gets the courage to repeat. And he's going to be able to find the final 2 out of both Skedoodle and Stewie. Not much happening that round, but at the same time, Cloud9 not really investing all of that much since they got the plant in the first round. And now the question is, do they copy what NRG did back on that last map and save, or do they just go immediately into the 3rd round buy? And well, no, they're not. They're going to go immediately to the 3rd round buy.
Speaking of copying what NRG did, we didn't really bring this up again because I think we just both forgot about it and potentially just wanted to block it out of our memories. But that 4th round buy that they had in that last half was so weird with the shotgun, like a pistol, 1 AK. It was just like so interesting, and that just seemed to put them on the back foot for the rest of that half. But here, yeah, no copying that idea from Cloud9. 4 AK-47s, Galil onto nothing. All 5 members just slowly working their way up towards this B platform. Going to line up for an execution. They only have 2 smokes to work with. These flashbangs are going to have to be pretty nice. There's a big presence. Legia boosted up on top of the platform, but he's spotted out by Shroud. He loses that battle. Flashbangs rain out now. They know Peter is close by for that boost. He's completely blind. He falls. Gabi up on top. Can't even find Shroud, and even Stewie finding one. I mean, his defense has just collapsed.
Justin's running for the hills at this point, moved himself over to the site connector, and Stewie going to be flanking him, and he finds that kill as well. So NRG not upgrading themselves properly here, still sitting on so many SMGs, not able to hold the angles, and C9 just so on point with their entries. that they're going to be able to steal away this first gun round here now, putting themselves at a 14-4 because NRG did not necessarily upgrade quite a few of their players. They're still going to be able to force up one more time, putting 2 rifles up and an op on a silent. Peter and Gabi going to have to downgrade themselves to 5-7s. So this is it. This is where they need to hold it. And if not, C9 are just going to take control of this map and go 2-0 for the evening.
Default setup for Cloud9. A couple players playing far back. Legia's going to get a little bit aggressive up towards that broken wall. Spots one. No damage really dealt to the Cloud9 side. It is 2 pistols on Peter and Gabi. Silence got the AWP with no armor, but there's a good kill from Gabi. Saw this on Train. For whatever reason, Cloud9 had a very difficult time in closing that map out of dealing with these low-buy situations, the pistols. And once again, NRG is able to whittle one member away. Stewie falls.
And Shroud just going to place himself over at the back of the platform push. Waits for the peek from Peter. He finds it, but doesn't necessarily end up winning the duel. Has about a 7 HP advantage, so I suppose he does, but still not going to gain any progress from that one, but also going to deny any information coming out towards Peter. The real story, though, is going to be silent as he tries to push forward, and way too late on that evacuation from Suicide Steps. Freakazoid's going to be able to easily shut him down, and now they just lost one of their big guns. Justin, they're responding to that, takes down Freakazoid, but Skadoodle going to be moving in, has a completely blind Justin right around the corner. Another great flash coming out from C9. Gabi trying to hold this nice pop there to bring nothing down to 5 HP, but also Peter taking the long route on the rotate. This could be extremely dangerous, but Legia still performing, gets himself out in the open, going to try to shut down nothing, succeeds in doing so, and just like that, it's all under the hands of Skadoodle. Finds a first frag, looking for the second one. He's got to be careful of the flank coming out from Peter, but unfortunately for him, Peter's coming in from middle right there, and Gabi just going to handle it on his own. Nicely done, shuts out Skadoodle. And NRG stemmed the tide for a little bit longer.
Yeah, just like Train, it's tough for Cloud9 to close these out, and these pistols work wonders. That was a smart play from Freakazoid. He gets close up and plays it passive, but I mean, Gabi allowed to live here for so long, they just can't find this kill. Legia coming in with the rotate with a nice support. Still, they've got another buy from Cloud9 to get through. 4 AKs and 1 Galil. Money on both teams is pretty much depleted. And NRG, I mean, they obviously have a long way until this becomes a comeback. But if they lose here and lose out and they get reset, and this is a bad start, Gabi falls early.
Shroud immediately picking up that first kill, and now they're getting ready to execute in through drop here. The only player that's able to hold this is Legia. He's already given control of it, going to try to go for the peak. Down to 78 HP. Platform push is going to be executed in a moment as well. As we'll start Stewie finding another push. Legia just gets up into the face of Freakazoid to take him down while he's completely flashed, but thankfully nothing. Going to be a little bit off the mark, sitting behind his teammate, so he is able to catch the trade. And it's just on silent now. He's trying to be sneaky, working his way in through the halls, but that's not going to work. Shroud, a random bullet out of nowhere, shuts down silent. And C9 now going to place themselves on match point.
Yeah, it's a nightmare situation. Money gets reset after winning only 1. They've traded rounds back and forth since the second round. NRG's not able to string a couple together, and now, I mean, look at this buy. Now, granted, Cloud9, for some reason, really doesn't like playing against pistols. So, I mean, good opportunity here for NRG to take it, if historically speaking, in these 2 maps tonight. I mean, this has been a buy that they've won multiple times, but Cloud9, they're not going to play slow and spread out. They're going to just rush towards this B bomb site. Freakazoid gets the entry. There's Legia chiming in with a good trade, but now the defense is all so far away. They have no angles into this site. It's all Cloud9. They're going to take it 16-6.
Justin walks into his own death, and they're already leaving the server at this point, so there you have it. C9, the dominating second map here. Little bumps in the road on the second half, but for the most part, C9 have absolute control of things back on Cobblestone, and that's a good turnaround because this has been a map where they've had a fairly shaky record as of the last month or so. So with a matchup like that, maybe things are starting to turn a little bit more into their advantage, and that's going to be good with the major coming up in just over a week.
Yeah, they just ran in. I mean, they came in and a little bit fortunate perhaps that NRG came out very, very flat in that matchup. I mean, just like we said, the kills just weren't going their way. No matter what you do strategically, no matter what you're planning on doing across the map, if you're not getting kills, nothing's going to work for you. So I mean, that's a map that NRG probably don't want to go back and watch the VOD from that one. They'll just move past it. All started here. 1 kill to open up from Justin, but Shroud and Skadoodle, this CT side, I mean, these are going to be quick highlights. We're essentially only going to see one side, and it's a good thing we're showing silent once or twice here because that's about all he had.
This was that weird buy round that you mentioned too, where it like didn't really make any sense at all. It led into this I guess you could call it a full buy on round number 5, but yeah, unfortunately it never really worked out. And there's the Zeus from Shroud at this point.
Everything about that.
C9 just with full confidence at that point forward too, so they're having no trouble. And once they get the ball rolling, we know how momentum-based North American teams can be. Once C9 have it rolling, there's no stopping it.
Yeah, very lockdown defense. Although we've seen this, I mean, not even against NRG. Remember there was that overpass game against Luminosity, I believe it was, where they came back. And that was pretty sick stuff. So I mean, their defense has not looked bad whatsoever. But they take both maps tonight against NRG. We were interested to see how NRG looked coming back from a successful counter pit. I mean, they beat Envy, but didn't. I mean, they got to the semis, so yeah, successful for them. Definitely punched above their weight in that event, but it came out flat here tonight. So once again, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to have 2 maps between Winter Fox and Complexity to close out the evening. So stay tuned.